This is Enshrouded, and today we're going to be testing it out on an RX 6600 GPU paired with the Ryzen 5 3600 and 16GB of DDR4 3200 MHz RAM. I'm going to be using maximum quality settings first. Let's just go ahead and apply that. This is maximum quality and it automatically applies FSR2 at ultra quality. So we're going to be testing it out for the maximum quality preset first. Let's head right into the game. Alright guys, just coming into the game, I can see the FPS that is not close to 30 even. It's like at 26. I just left the game here because I thought that this was the area where the FPS was dropping a lot. So I just left the game here, and this is almost the start of the game. There's not going to be much spoilers for you guys. This is kind of a game which has vibes like Dark Souls and stuff, and also some survival games. So as you guys can see, getting about 27, 28 FPS, sometimes in the 30s, but also sometimes in the higher 20s, which is not very good. And still it's FSR2 applied at ultra quality. Now, I don't know what internal resolution they're using for ultra quality FSR2 in this game, but seems like they are not using that lower than 1080p. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to change the settings, and let's go to quality FSR2. And let's see if we get some differences in quality. I can see the grass is a little bit more softer compared to quality, ultra quality, sorry. And yeah, so the game still looks very good on quality, and we get some increase in performance, as you can see right there. Also dropping into the 20s still. So now seems like we have to drop down the settings no matter what we do for this game, which I've already tested. I could tell that this game is gonna be hard to run at maximum quality settings. Now let's go ahead. This came out at about 35 FPS, as you can see right there. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to use the other option, which is FXAA anti-aliasing. Now there is no other option for you guys to use besides FXAA and FSR2. If you have NVIDIA GPU, maybe you have DLSS. I don't know if it's present in the game or not, but don't quote me on that. We're getting about 26, 27 FPS, the same story as FSR2 ultra quality, and it looks really bad compared to FSR2 ultra quality. The grass looks a lot shimmery, and you cannot tell much differences between the elements that are farther on the screen. I'm hardly able to actually make the differences between the textures of the objects that are far away on FXAA. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go back to FSR2. There's also an option for off. I can use off anti-aliasing, and at off I can still get shimmeriness, but not that much compared to FXAA. Now if you guys want to use native resolution, you can use this, but still I don't recommend it, guys. Grass looks really weird. You're not able to make out differences between the elements that are farther away. Like that tree just looks like a smudgy mess. Okay, so let's go ahead now and turn down the settings. I'm going to go to quality now. This automatically applies FSR2 on quality. As you guys can see, these are quality settings at 1080p. And let's start counting the frames again. Let's see if we get the drop still in the 30s. Seems like we do in the higher 30s, but this has already got FSR2 on quality applied. Getting about 38 FPS average, 40 FPS average currently. Dropping into the 30s, the lowest I saw I think was 37. So this is really playable. FPS in the 40s is really playable. Let me go ahead and now turn the FSR2 to ultra quality, which looks like to me, if you guys want to use FSR2, this is the setting that you guys should be using. Still in the 39, so not that much decrease in performance. 37 I saw again, 37, 36, okay, 37 and 36 FPS average. Let's try to move out of here and see if we get some drops. Yeah, we're getting into 35, so this seems like it's more intensive. Let's try to use this beehive, and I got something, I don't know what did I get, but it's dropping into 36, 37, and more than 30 is quite playable in my opinion for this game. And you guys shouldn't be worrying about your FPS if you're using quality preset in the settings. Alright guys, so this also, I forgot to mention that quality preset kind of looks like the same as ultra quality or maximum quality preset. So let's go back to FXAA just for the sake of it, but I don't recommend you guys to use it. And okay, now it's dropping into the 31, 30 FPS. So seems like there is some difference between FSR2 max quality and FXAA, which uses the native resolution to actually for anti-aliasing purposes. Alright, so getting into 35, 31, I've started counting the frames again. Let's wait a while and see what decreases do we get in performance. So getting the 30s, 31, 30, we're not dropping into the 20s like maximum quality settings, but still in the 36 is not very good. So I would recommend you guys to use FSR2 at ultra quality for these settings. Now let's go to balance settings, and this is surprising. They're using balanced FSR2 for these settings. Let's see balanced quality FSR2. How does it look? No, I don't think so. This doesn't cut it. This doesn't look very good. It's at 58, 57 FPS. Okay, what did my god, I bombed him. My god, I bombed that bitch. Okay, I didn't know that I had some bombs selected. Let's select our axe, and we're getting about 58 FPS average at balanced FSR2, which is not very surprising, but let's go back to quality. At least you guys should be using quality FSR2. That will net you very good image quality and FPS also. As you guys can see, we're getting about 55, 54, 53. In the 50s, it's very good, and for these kind of games, 50 FPS is a very good start. Okay, as you guys can see, it's also going into the 60s. So lowest is gonna be 55 or something like that, and you're also gonna get into the 60s for the areas that are not very demanding. Alright, let's go to ultra quality FSR2 now, and let's start counting the frames again. This will drop into the 50s, and also you can see 48 FPS there. So this will drop into the 40s also. Let's try moving the camera a lot and see if we get some drops here or not. So 55, 56, still the same story, but I would say like 4 to 5 FPS lesser than previously with FSR2 on quality. Yeah, as you guys can see, 50 is 49, 48. Seems like looking in this direction where there's a lot of vegetation in the farther areas, you get many FPS drops. So I think this would be the area where I should be checking out the performance at. Alright, so let's go and turn down the settings further. Let's go to, we tested out balanced. Let's go to performance now, which uses FSR2 balance still. So we're gonna turn it up in a little bit, but now in the 70s. Alright, so let's start counting the frames again, if I am able to do it. Okay, in the 70s right now, 79, 78. Looking farther away, like those areas, we're getting into the 60s, higher 60s, which is playable. Don't get me wrong, it's really playable, but I'm going to use FSR2 at quality at least. Okay, now this looks really good. The grass has become really sparse, so it's not that dense compared to quality or balance settings. So yeah, that's up to you guys if you guys want to use these settings or not. In my opinion, quality settings were enough at FSR2 at quality, so these were enough to get you good FPS. But if you guys want to get more than 60 FPS all of the time, these are settings that you should be using. Let's try to kill this wolf and try to loot him. So he gave us some bone to chew on. Seems like we are a dog. Okay, so getting about 65 FPS average. I also saw some drops into the 50s. Now ultra quality FSR2 looks just like native resolution. There is not much difference compared to native resolution, and it looks sharper compared to native resolution also. Seems like FSR2 ultra quality is the way to go for native performance, for native resolution gaming in this game. So getting about 61 FPS, 64 FPS average. Let's start counting the frames again, and let's see the average. What do we get? Okay, what was that? Okay, yep, so getting about 56, 58, 57 FPS. Really good, nice performance for you guys. If you guys want to use these settings, you can go ahead and do that. Now let's go ahead and go to maximum performance, which uses FSR2 on performance, and everything on the screen becomes like Fortnite performance mode, which says in the settings, it says maximum performance. So this is what you're gonna get. Let's start counting the frames again. So people who have lower end hardware can also kind of play this game. If this GPU is getting like 88 to 90 FPS most of the times in this for these settings, then I would say that the GPUs who are actually lower in performance, like the ones like GTX 1650 or 1660 and stuff, can also play this game at very good performance with these settings. So yeah, let's go ahead now, because I don't like the look of FSR2. I'm gonna straight go ahead to ultra quality. Now ultra quality FSR2 still nets you about 70 FPS, as you guys can see right there. I've just started counting the frames again, and 75, 73, 72 FPS, 74, sometimes in the 70s, also in the 80s, sometimes the same as before, but not in the 90s anymore. So yeah guys, if you guys like this video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and that is up for me from my side today, and I will see you all in the next one. And please click this video if you'd like to watch more from my side on this hardware.